Hello guys, how are you? Hope you all are doing very well. And in order to pace up for UGC NET Paper 1 as a mock test, we are solving UGC NET 2017's Paper 1. The complete paper consisted of 50 questions, and these are the questions that were exactly asked in the UGC NET Paper 1. And the key to crack UGC NET exam is just solve previous year papers as much as possible. So guys, just let's start with this session. And you all know aware of the papers pattern, that is 50 questions. Each question consists of 2 marks, that is 100 marks are there, right? So let's just concentrate on the questions now. The question number 1: which of the following set of statements best represents the nature and objective of teaching and learning? So here five options are given to us, then codes are given to us. On the basis of this statement's truthness, we need to find that which of the following options are correct. Option A: teaching is like selling and learning is like buying. Okay. Second, teaching is a social act while learning is a personal act. So it is a true one. Why? Because you teach in a social group, whereas learning is a kind of personal act. You can learn lonely as well and by self as well. So B is true. Option C: teaching implies learning, whereas learning does not imply teaching. Yes, it is also true, because whenever you are teaching means you are learning, but if you are learning it doesn't mean you are teaching. So conceptually it is correct. D: teaching is a kind of delivery of knowledge while learning is like receiving it. No, it is not like that. Learning, you can't say that the teaching is like delivery of knowledge, because you maybe learn at the same time. That is, it is not correct. And the option is teaching is an interaction and is triadic in nature, whereas learning is an active engagement in the subject domain. So it is correct. So option B, C and E are correct. So we will go with the option second. Option 2 is the correct. So guys, I am again telling you that whatever I am discussing with you are according to the UGC NET syllabus, and all the answer keys and the solutions which I am providing to you are authenticated and completely based on UGC NET keys, right? Further, if you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can ask us anytime, no problem. The question number 2 is: from the list given below, identify the learner characteristics which would facilitate teaching learning system to become effective. Choose the correct code to indicate your answer. Okay, so we need to identify the options which identifies the learner's characteristics. What are the characteristics of a learners? Okay, option A: prior experience of learner. It is very important that learner must have somewhat prior experience of learner. It will affect the ahead learning of that. Learner's family lineage doesn't necessary that whatever background or family lineage doesn't characterize any kind of learner's thing. Option C: aptitude of learner is important. Option D: learner's stage of development. It is also important, depends on whether it is in adulthood or whether it is in the childhood, because childhood grasp better learning and by easily they can learn in the childhood. So it is important. Learner's food habit doesn't depend. Learner's religious affiliation, no defect. So only A, C and D, that is option A 1 is the correct answer. Okay. The next question is assertion and region based. Assertion is all teaching implies learning. All teaching implies learning. It is true. All teaching implies learning. It is true. Reason: learning is to be useful must be derived from teaching. No, it is false. It is not necessary that every learning must be derived from teaching, right? They can self learn also. So only assertion is correct. Means option 3 is the correct answer. Guys, I hope you are getting the answers with us and getting the concepts. You can comment us if you have any kind of doubts or queries. Question number 4: on the basis of summative tests, a teacher is interpreting his or her students performance in terms of their wellness lifestyle evident in behavior. This will be called as formative testing. No. This will be called continuous and comprehensive evaluation. No. This will be called normal reference testing. No, because on the basis of summative test, teacher is interpreting students performance with the term of wellness and lifestyle evident in behavior. It is completely termed as criterion and referenced testing. Option 4 is the correct answer. It is very important, guys, to solve this kind of questions, because this kind of questions they were asking in UGC NET, and many times direct questions from the previous year placed in previous year's questions are directly placed in your paper. So must watch this video until the end. I am assuring you that you will get much and much useful information from this video. So watch until the end, no problem. You must need some patience, so just took copy and pen with you and just note whatever points you think that it is suitable for you. Question number 5. Which one of the following is a key behavior in effective teaching? इफेक्टिव टीचिंग के लिए की बिहेवियर क्या क्या होना चाहिए? यूजिंग स्टूडेंट्स आइडिया एंड कंट्रीब्यूशन, स्ट्रक्चरिंग, इंस्ट्रक्शनल वेराइटी, क्वेश्चनिंग. वैसे तो चारों जो है करेक्ट आंसर है, ऑल द फोर्स आर करेक्ट आंसर, बट स्टिल क्वेश्चनिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Okay, so instructional variety. Okay, questioning may because some topics are there in which you can't raise question directly. So the instructional variety of the teacher or instructional variety of instructor depend that how creative he or she is, how instructional, right? So on the basis of that we can derive the key behavior of teaching. So option 3 is most suitable answer. The next question is, which of the following research types focuses on ameliorating the prevailing situations? Option A, fundamental research. Option B, applied research. So it is from these next five questions are from the research aptitude, right? As you all know that the 10 topics are there in UGC NET paper 1, and all 10 sections consisted of 5 questions each, right? So it is from research aptitude. Now the first 5 questions were basically belongs to teaching aptitude. The next 5 are belonging to research aptitude. So which of the following research type focuses on ameliorating the prevailing situations? Fundamental research, applied research, action research, or experimental research? So action research is the correct answer. Basically you just need to know the concept. There isn't any kind of explanation or like that, because you just need to know. It is a theoretical kind of questions. The next question is, a researcher attempts to evaluate the effect of method of feeding on anxiety proneness of children. Which method of research would be appropriate for this? Okay, case study method, experimental method, ex post facto method, or survey method? So effect method of feeding an anxiety proneness to the children to evaluate the effect of methods. So it is ex post facto method, depends on the what facts they are deriving. Option 3 is the correct answer. The next question is question number 8. In which of the following arrangements a wider spectrum of ideas and issues may be made possible? In research article, in workshop mode, in conference, or symposium? So wide spectrum of ideas and issues may be possible in conferences. Option 3 is the correct answer. In finalizing a thesis writing format, which of the following would be part of supplementary pages? Supplementary pages. List of tables and figures, no, they are in the front of pages, they are not a part of supplementary pages. Table of content, no. Conclusion, no. Bibliography and appendices, yes, bibliography and appendices, they are the part of supplementary pages. Basically they are added in the last on the last pages of your article or book, right? So option 4 is the correct answer. Question number 10. Which of the following is susceptible to the issue of research ethics? Research ethics are there. So option A, inaccurate application of statistical techniques, faulty research design, choice of sampling techniques, and reporting of research findings. So option 4 is correct answer, that whenever whatever you are taking, whatever material you are taking, whatever facts you are taking, you need to report that from where you did find it, right? So they are considered under the issues of research ethics, and it means you need to give credit to from where you took the data or the facts, isn't it? So option 4 is the correct answer. The next 5 questions basically it is a big paragraph and it is completely based on the English literature. 5 questions are every year they ask from English section on the basis of this paragraph. So here it is a big paragraph, so it is better that I will directly giving you the answers so that you can read that. Okay, I am slightly moving it. You can make screenshots, or you can betterly you can read it slowly, and on the basis of that you can answer it. Okay, so the answer for question number 11 is option 1. Why I am answering it directly? Because it is easier. No, it is very easier kind of question, but it will be difficult that I will go read by read. So you just note the answers. For question number 11, option 1 is the answer. For question number 12, again option 1 is the answer because I have solved it earlier. For question number 13, option 2 is the right answer. For question number 14, option 3 is the answer. And for question number 15, option 3 is the answer. Okay, so don't worry. Now next 5 questions. The interaction between a teacher and student creates a zone of proximal. Option A, difference. Option B, confusion. Option C, development. Option D, distortion. So the interaction between teacher and students create a zone of proximal development. Option 3 is most suitable answer. The next question is, the spatial audio reproduction in a classroom can reduce the students' cognitive load in understanding, respect for teacher, motivation for excellence, interest in technology. So basically, if you will observe it clearly now, this the below 3 options are basically out of context. It does not related to any kind of logic. So spatial audio reproduction in classroom basically reduces the cognitive load of students in the understanding. So option 1 is the correct answer. The next question is question number 18. The classroom communication should essentially be option A, contrived. Option B, empathetic. Option 3, abstract. Option 4, non-descriptive. So it should not be non-descriptive. It should not be hidden, means it should not be abstract, and it should not be contrived. It should be empathetic. Option second is the correct answer. The question number 19 is, a good communicator begins his or her presentation with a complex question, with a non-sequitur, with a repetitive phrase, or with an icebreaker. So basically, good communicator present or starts his presentation with an icebreaker, so that the first means you can assume it like, so that better impression can be gathered. So option 4 is the correct answer. The next question is question number 20. In a classroom, the probability of message reception can be enhanced by. How can you enhance the message reception? By establishing a viewpoint, by exposing the ignorance of students, by increasing the information load, or by using high decibel audio tools. So basically, by establishing a viewpoint, you can increase or enhance the message reception. In establishing a viewpoint is the most correct answer, by establishing a viewpoint. Okay, now some analytical reasoning type questions are there, reasoning based in the series 1, 6, 15, 28, 45. The next term will be, so if you will observe it carefully, 1, after that 6 is there, then 15 is there, then 28 is there, then 45 is there. Now 6 minus 1, it is nothing but 5. 15 minus 6, it is nothing but 9. 28 minus 15, what it is? It is 13, isn't it? 45 minus 18, what it is? Are you able to answer? 45 minus 28. 17. So if you will observe, here are a gap of 4. It is a gap of 4. Gap of 4. So again I need to create a gap of 4. So 17 plus 4, it is nothing but 21. And you should add 21 here. So After adding 21 to 45, you will get 5 plus 1 6, 4 plus 2 6, that is 66. Option A is the correct answer. The next question is, the next term in the series ABD, DGK, HMS, MTB is. So if you will observe here, A, B, D, A, B and D. First here no gap, and after that one gap, that is C. C is missing. After that D, G and K. What does it mean? A, B, C, D, E, F. Two terms are missing. First 0 terms are missing, then one term is missing, then two terms are missing, then H, I and J. Three terms are missing. Similarly, 4 terms are missing, 5 terms are missing, 6 terms are missing, 7 terms are missing. So now I need to answer here. Means on the first place 7 terms are missing, and at the next 8 terms should be missing. But where should I start? So I should start here with A, B, D. D is there. After that, if you will observe here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. So after G, what should be there? H. So H is there. Then after that, if you will observe here, okay, okay. So basically, there should be difference of 7 and 8 between the devices now. Okay. So I need to find which two digits have gap of 7 and 8. So N and S should not have difference of it. S and B. Okay. It is having difference of 7 and 8. The difference between S and B and L are 7 and 8 respectively. So option 2 is the correct answer. I hope you got the concept. The next question is, in certain code, covalent is coded as BWPDUOFM. The code of elephant will be. How can be code of elephant should be written? So if you will observe covalent, COVALA, okay, COVALENT. It is coded as BWPDUOFM. So are you finding any logic? B plus 1 C, but we need to configure it with complete sense, right? Covalent, okay, PDU ENT OFM BW. So covalent is coded as BW, okay, C, okay. Are you able to configure it, that how it is solved? Okay, let us take some break. Hey guys, so this question is somewhat tricky and you can solve it. Covalent is given to us, isn't it? So let's solve it in the side. COVALENT. Covalent is given to us and it is written as BWPDUOFM. Okay, so if you will observe here, it is somewhat like C increased with D by 1 plus 1 and A increased by 1 by plus 1. Similarly, O increased by 1, after O P will be there, and V after V W will be there, 1 is increased. So you can observe the structure. Similarly, the next four letter is also L plus 1, it is M, T plus 1, that is U, N plus 1, that is O, and E plus 1, that is F. Similarly, we need to do in the elephant, E, L, E, P, H, A, N, T. We just need to increase plus 1, 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 plus 1 to here E plus 1, that is F, P plus 1, Q, L plus 1, M, E plus 1, F, H plus 1, I, T plus 1, U, A plus 1, B, N plus 1, that is O. So Q, F, M, F, U, O, B, I, that is option 3 is the correct answer. I hope it is getting by you. It is also asked once in GATE exam. Interesting question. Somewhat tricky. Just need to analyze, right? Okay. Now question number 24. Ajay is a friend of Rakesh. Okay. Ajay is there and Rakesh is there. They both are friends. Okay. Pointing to an old man, suppose this is an old man, and pointing to the old man, Ajay asking that to Rakesh, Ajay asking to Rakesh by pointing on this old man that who is he. So what Rakesh replies, Rakesh said his son is my son's uncle, his son is my son's uncle, means suppose his son is this, his son is suppose X, so X is his son's uncle. So suppose his son is Y, so Y's uncle is X, Y's uncle is X, Y's uncle is X. So if Y's uncle is X, what does it means? R and X are brothers. If R and X are brothers, then this old man is nothing but Rakesh's father. So option 3 is the correct answer. Question number 25, direction based question. Okay. A postman walked 20 meters straight from an office. Okay, let's solve it. Suppose it is an office and a postman walked 20 meters straight from his office. So suppose 20 meters straight from office a postman walked. He turned right and walked 10 meters. He turned right and walked 10 meters. After turning left, he walked 10 meters. After turning left, he walked 10 meters more. And after turning right, walked 20 meters. After turning right, again he walked 20 meters. He again turned right, means this side, and walked 70 meters. Walked 70 meters. Okay. Now question is how far he is from his office. So the postman is now reaches here. We need to find how far he is from office. This distance we need to calculate. We need to calculate this x, value of x. So if you will observe here, this is nothing but 20 plus 10 means this distance is 30. So 70 minus 30 is nothing but 40. So this distance is 40. And this distance you can clearly say that 20 plus 10, that is 30. By applying Pythagoras, you can simply say that the value of x would be 50. So option A is the correct answer. So guys, we have solved half paper of the UGC NET paper 1 for 2017, and the next half session, that is from the question number 26 to question number 50, we will solve in our next session. So guys, please stay tuned with us, and if you have any kind of doubts or query in first 25 questions, just ask us and we'll try to solve them as early as possible. Stay tuned with us guys, and please like our video too. Have a very nice day guys. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.